Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Beef, where we not only talk about business problems, we talk about business solutions. Yes. James, how are you?
I'm doing great, Bob. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. It's been a few weeks.
Good. It has been.
Yeah.
I was getting withdrawals. I was going to do the shakes. I was like, I need my beef, Gotta get back at it.
I know. Are you like me that like when you're living life, you're collecting things? Oh, we got to talk about that on the show. I forget,
Yeah, I was just going to say I am, but I've got to write them down. You see, right. I realize that I'm a little bit older now and the memory ain't what it used to be, and then I'll remember them. Like I wake up in the morning, like, oh yeah, I got to do that. And then by the time we come down here, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, what are we talking about? And I said I'm older and much grumpier. So like more things are bothering me. Does that happen? I guess that happens, right? Like you get older and things just bug you a lot,
Yeah, I didn't think it would, you know what I mean? Because you see that. Why are old people so grumpy? And now I'm like, if I continue at this pace, no one's going to want to be around me by the time I'm like 70 years old.
Not that old, right? Yeah.
I'm going to be this wrinkled old man just complaining about everything, Yeah. But yeah, it totally is happening. It really is.
It's happening to me too. And also like this whole idea of, I was watching because it's, Christmas time. I don't know when people will be watching this, but it's December, right? So, Christmas. I love the Christmas season, by the way.
Me too.
Oh
Me too.
God, it's crazy.
It's a weird one this year, but it is. I do love the Christmas.
Yeah,
season.
But even better because people seem to be more into it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like a lot more houses are decorated. Yeah, that kind of thing.
That joy and stuff. Sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. But so last night, watched White Christmas.
Okay.
I love that movie, by the way.
White Christmas. I don't even know if I've seen White Christmas.
Oh man,
it's old school.
Yeah, it's an old school movie. Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney.
Oh, a good one. I probably have seen it. Then it's just not been on my radar lately. I've been so focused on the.
Oh, well, the song. I mean, that's where the song comes from.
Of course,
from Berlin. Music.
For sure.
So anyway, just great. So anyway, all into this fantastic, and then. This morning, my wife's baking cookies, whatever. So we're doing the Christmas thing.
Oh, felt good. There. That sounds like such a happy morning.
It's a happy morning for
this is good. I like this.
Household. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, so the White Christmas comes on the radio or whatever we were listening to.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so beautiful to hear this kind of music, not like today's music,
right.
Where everything's aggressive and sex and this and that, and everything's like bad and bitter and who hates who. And I was like, oh my God, listen to me.
Wow. Yeah. I don't think, that's amazing.
That's an old man thing, right?
That's an old man thing. I'll tell you on the flip side of that, I was rapping last night, right? I was not like the human beatbox, but like rapping presents, right? So,
I was like,
not like
well, we were talking about music.
Yeah,
so.
no.
Rapping presents.
Rapping presents, right. With my wife. And we always make it I was doing? Christmas rapping.
Yeah.
See?
Got it.
Yeah. And we do it every year. So we have a good time with it. We have some, we'll maybe have some, some drinks or something. We hang out and we have a good time. Play the Christmas music loud, right? We hear the songs. I love it. And I'm an old school Christmas music guy, right? The old Bing Crosby and, Nat King Cole, like the old good Christmas songs and stuff that are going on out there. So we play them all for a while and we're rapping or whatever. And we were a couple hours into it. I'm like, we got to turn this thing up. So we went back and we turned off the Christmas music a little bit and we went straight to 80s rock. So my
like 80s, like hairband type rock,
rock. Cause of course this was after a couple of drinks. And then we're just rocking and rapping the presents. And so I don't think I'm really
rapping.
I'm totally. Totally. At that point, it was like at the beginning, it's like, this is so nice. It's Christmas, and then we're like, we got to turn it up in here, man. Like, this is awesome. But let's really rock. So we put on the 80s rock and it really got the night going. So I'm not quite at the grumpy phase like you are with like today's music or the hardcore stuff. Although I know you like a good 80s rock band.
I love 80s rock progress. I mean, I even like today's music, but it was just like, I'm just so tired of the environment that we're in with everyone complaining about something and this and that and the other thing, And so this is what's gotten
Which is ironic. Which is ironic that we're on a complaining show.
Right.
You're tired
never
of
mind.
complaining.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
That's
with
what
that,
we
isn't it?
do here.
No, but it's a personal complaining. This is what I mean. I don't know. We should explore this because
We should.
Yeah, I think it's more about me. Like, I hate when people are always looking for some reason to not like another person. Well, I guess that's kind of what we do too. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. We got to self-explore. There's a real problem here.
Yeah,
You're right.
This needs to, we need to look inside ourselves
pretty
and really
hypocritical
determine
right now.
what we're doing here.
So this is just comes down to I'm a grumpy old guy. That's what it is. Yeah.
But
I also want to point out that when you were, anytime that you said, you'll watch this back, but anytime you said rapping, you were like, we're rapping. So that's kind of why I thought you were talking about the music.
Because I threw the hands up, rapping.
You're doing the hands up, like whatever this signifies. And which, by the way, I also love rap. This is another.
Do you?
I do. I love rap music. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved rap.
Very rhythmic. I'm a huge fan. Actually.
I was a big fan back in the day. Not as much now. I'm not as big of a fan, but I was back in the day.
Yeah. But now I'm a Bing Crosby fan. I'm going back all the way.
Right.
Anyway, so this is what's happening. And what were we talking about? We were talking about how I'm becoming a grumpy old dude.
How we're both getting grumpier in our old age, actually.
That's right.
How we're complaining a little bit more. We're getting more beefs. We're just not remembering them again because we're old.
Right, yeah, because there's so many of them, right?
Because there's so many of them and we're old. So we're not only are we grumpier, but we can't remember why we're grumpy because we're
how
old.
It happened.
So we're losing the mental capacity to retain those in our head, which is probably a good thing, right?
Probably, yeah, it's not bad, right?
Yeah,
and we forgot.
probably.
We just and that's what it equates to is that you're just grumpy, but you don't know why you're grumpy.
That's right.
And you just
why are you? Why are
I'm
you so
okay
grumpy?
with that.
I don't know. I'm really grumpy right now.
I'm really, really good with being a grumpy old dude.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
so,
I'm all right with it too. As long as,
no
listen, I'm good.
Yep,
I'm
no
good.
problem.
It's gonna happen. So
it happened. I mean, so anyway, speaking of which, we need to talk about some beef.
Yeah, what do you got today, Bob? What do you want to?
Is it my turn or?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe you'd have something on the top of your list here.
Yeah. Even though we don't remember them, there is one that's on my mind.
Something.
Yeah. Well, okay. So being December, I will say, and being self-employed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've now gotten to the point where I can spend a lot of time doing some charity work and things that I really enjoy.
Very cool.
Which I've done. And I've been doing that a lot more in December and, November, that kind of thing around the holidays.
Awesome.
Which is cool. But there is something that bothers me. So there's a lot of people that do it and I have nothing but love and respect for all of them. But every once in a while we'll call for other volunteers,
Right.
And sometimes things get a little tough, like bad weather or, it's just like really hard work one day. We're doing all kinds of different things. Again, what it isn't important, but, and you look at them and you say, God, it's so amazing. They're taking time out of their day to do all this stuff and be with us. And, no doubt. It's fantastic, right?
It's amazing.
And then the next day you go on social media and you see now one or two of them have posted on there like, what a day yesterday, went through the cold and the rain and everything, but well worth it for the, and something about that. Mm-hmm. I'm very torn about this, right?
Yeah.
Something about that kind of says to me, well, is that why you did it? Mm-hmm. So that you could tell other people that you did it? Mm-hmm. And then something else about it says, well, but you did it. So go ahead and brag about it, I guess. And then I start to self-explore and say, is that why I do it? Because I kind of want people to know that I do it. Right. So I don't know, like I get this torn up feeling that I'm not sure if it's a beef. Yeah. Maybe it's a psychological problem, but I mean, have you experienced this kind of thing? What do you think?
I think this is legitimate. It really is, because there's so much that goes on with social media of people doing things, but then why are you doing it? Right.
Yeah.
I've seen these cartoons where somebody's like giving $1 to a homeless person, but also doing a selfie at the same time.
Yes. This exact same thing.
And it's the same sort of stuff. Like, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because it makes you look good? Because you want people to see you as this person? And the flip side is, does it matter?
Does it matter? This is kind of the thing that I wonder about.
You're still doing good.
Still doing it.
You're still doing good for a community or for a group of people or a person even.
Yeah.
So does it matter? And I think you could even peel the onion back a little bit more and say, have we made it matter so much? Like, have we made a society where if you're not giving the dollar and showing the picture, then we just think you're not a good person? if we don't see it on social media or
interesting.
we don't see it on one of these things, do we assume you're not doing it? And does it matter?
Yeah.
And does it matter?
This is like when I
you know.
see some of your famous, birthday posts.
Oh, yes.
And
I could tell you stories around
you
those.
do, but you do that. I mean, I'll stay, but like you put it out there, like how much you love somebody, or somebody else does it to you, and like it's almost. And we've talked about this before because
for sure.
I stopped doing it, but I used to do it, and the reason I used to do it because I felt pressure. Like if I don't say publicly how much I love my wife on my anniversary, I feel like she's going to think I don't love her or something, right? Or like it's like this social pressure almost, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's not. It's not almost anything. It is.
It is social pressure.
Okay. Let me just take. And that's social. That definition of social could be a group of people or your wife. Okay. So
the recipient.
that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, December 9th was my anniversary, right? And to the point where it was a busy day. We were running around. We had the kids. I had to, bring my kids back to my ex-wife's. Like it was just, we were busy. And the day itself did not feel like an anniversary. It was like we were working, which just what happens when you get to be older, right?
Yeah.
But all these things are going on. Now, we had planned dinner. We had kidless hours. We planned dinner. And I kid you not, we went out to dinner. We were both a little like, it doesn't feel like we were both a little snippy. We were both like, well, whatever. You didn't do anything. Pull into the parking lot for the restaurant. And the comment was made to me. I just, I was waiting for you to post to Facebook before I posted anything for our anniversary. And I'm like,
wow,
are you kidding me? Right.
Yeah.
But let's take it for what it's worth. I don't hold this against my wife at all.
No.
I hold it against just the practice. It's the practice that everybody's doing. Everybody's trying to one up one another to show this, to show that. And I think my wife would rather have a great Facebook post than a card.
Well, that might not be a bad thing.
She got
because
both.
the cards.
She got both. Because I got home, by the way, and I was like, I better get this thing up.
Where's my card?
but,
right. But if it replaces cards, maybe that's. But this is an interesting analogy because it kind of coming back to my original problem. The fact that you posted how much you loved your wife publicly didn't make you. Doesn't mean that you didn't love her. Right? In other words,
exactly.
You love her exactly the same amount. You just felt the need to post it for some reason, whether it was social pressure or maybe you just wanted to show people how much you love her. There's something there as well, probably, right? Like
for sure.
That makes you feel good. So that doesn't mean that the act of loving her is any less diminished, right? Just because you've posted it. And maybe that's the same thing with the charity. Like they still did the work of the charity. They still donated or did whatever, which was a sacrifice. So maybe the fact that they're posting it doesn't take away from that. It just makes me question the motivation. That's my problem.
But I think that's right. I think you hit it right on the head in a way, because I posted what I posted because I wanted to express how I felt. I wanted to tell her in words how I felt. I don't get to write her letters very often. Tell her, and you know what? I'll tell other people. Show the world, kind of how I feel about my wife. This is
shouting out from the rooftops. So that's
right. Exactly. Right. This is our life, and I love it. And this is this. Now, maybe that adds a little bit more to it because I got divorced and remarried. I want people to know this is my life. This is my wife, and I love her, and I want to make sure that she knows how much. Right.
Right.
And when you look at the same scenario that you're talking about for a charity, there are people that love what they're doing. They're proud of the work that they've done. They want to, maybe they want to make awareness. Like I want to make awareness of my relationship with my wife. They'll make awareness for the charity or for the work that they're doing or for the group. So maybe other people could join us. Hey, that looks cool. I want to
it's a passion.
So it's a
now, and then here's another thing I'd say though. There is going to be an element of you wanting to show other people how good you are. And honestly, probably the same thing if you post how much you love your wife, and I've done the same, right?
Sure.
Part of it is I want to show other people how good of a husband I am, right? Like if I'm being very honest with myself, there is some element of that, but maybe that's not a bad thing because it drives you to be a better husband or be, like same thing with the charity. Like if part of what's driving me to do the charity work is the fact that I get to tell people I do the charity work, maybe that's okay. That's kind of, we're human, right?
And maybe that holds
That's
you
all right.
accountable. Maybe it holds me accountable to being a good husband or having a great relationship with my wife.
Yeah.
And it holds accountable to the work that you're doing and feeling good about it and doing those things along the way as well. So there could be different reasons why people are doing it. Now, do you know one or two or three of those people that are doing it only?
Maybe that's the problem.
Only?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. We both do, right? And it's everything. It's like, hey, look at me, here I am. Living the dream out here, right? Then you talk to them and they're like, I hate my life.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
now, but here's a good thing though. So, okay, now we're getting down to something. Can we agree that the most annoying form of this is when people are posting stuff like that and they're not really doing as much as they say they're doing?
Yes.
Right. So like,
100%.
When people are faking their lives, or they're saying, oh my God, I worked so hard yesterday in the charity, and that they were only there for 5 minutes, right? They just showed up for the photo and then they
100%.
left. And that happens a lot too.
100%.
So maybe I should turn my anger towards that, because that one really bugs me. Like
100%.
when they're faking it, right? And you see this a lot with all the causes that you see too, right? People are shouting from the rooftops about all these causes and saying how, they're holier than thou, and then they're not living any of it, right? They're not really doing any of it. So it's like that kind of stuff really bugs me, right?
Yeah. And that could be brought into any of this stuff. It's the fake, I want to be seen here, but I'm not this, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to express how I felt about my wife. It really is who we are, and our relationship is great. Same thing with some of those people that are writing about their charity. They love what they're doing. They're true about it. They're putting the work in. They're committed to it. Great. But there are the people that have probably live in misery right now, and will still post something nice about their life, and make everybody believe. And the same thing with the charity work, right?
There's somebody that's just going to show up for the photo op and then leave, and then it's like, and those are the people that really legitimately you should say, come on, really?
Come on, this is not what it's about. This isn't a way for you to, and honestly, you can look at this from a big business perspective, right? Because we talk a bit about businesses. It makes you wonder sometimes when businesses give to charity, when businesses do things, right?
Yes.
Are they doing it for themselves, or are they doing it for the charity? I'll give you a quick little story here. I live in Sandy Hook, right? So we all know about the tragedy that happened. I think it was 8 years ago this year, actually, just a few days ago.
Just the anniversary just passed.
Just a few days ago it did. But there was a company or a large business that wanted to remain unknown, that literally donated an entire park right here in Sandy Hook. And it's got tennis courts, and it's got basketball courts, and it's got, football field and a soccer field and a baseball field. It's huge. It's a beautiful park that I'm at all the time. Now, I happen to know who the company is. I won't even say who it is, but they didn't want to be known. They didn't want people to know
because it wasn't
who
about
they were.
For them.
They just wanted to give. And people in this town don't know who it was, right? A lot of them don't. And there's a respect that I can have for that, as opposed to, look what we did for this group. And then you promote it and you talk about it and you do this and you do that. And you look at it just a little different. That's when you start to question the motive. You question the motive a little bit more on the others. Not that it's not great, but you still just question.
And maybe there's another piece of this, which is that, okay, so what if they would have put their name on that park? So to our last conversation, you'd say they still gave a park. And so maybe they deserve to.
Like I said, still great.
Still great. But I think it's when a company does that kind of thing. Maybe the park's not a good example. When they donate to some big cause and they have to make sure they put out the press release, right? But then internally they're not living anything around that cause. Like, let's say sustainability, right? Something like that.
Sure.
But internally they're not doing anything to actually live that, or name any of the other of millions of causes.
That makes total sense.
Then it's just the photo op, right? It's the same. It's the equivalent of the photo op. Even though they might be giving a lot of money, they're doing it for the photo op and not really living anything that is around that cause. So maybe this is where we should be, or I should be, thinking more around, if somebody's really contributing in a way that is meaningful and they want some bragging rights, they probably earned it. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah. But it's when they aren't doing things that are meaningful, and then they still try and grab the bragging rights. That's where
it's false, right? It's
false.
It's fake.
Fake pretense, right?
It's the fake pretense. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
It's the equivalent of someone who doesn't love their wife but posts it every day, right?
Right. Exactly.
They're fooling around on
the world how great their life is, right?
Every anniversary, how great it is.
We exactly. We talk about it like it's new, but a photo op with your family is the same thing, right?
Kind of is.
There are more F-bombs and swearing with my family and people hate each other, right? Like it is a miserable experience. But then you look at the picture and everyone's and oh, what a beautiful family. You all look so happy. Yeah. Meanwhile, if you saw 5 minutes or 5 seconds before that picture was taken, right?
Looks like you had a great time.
It was beautiful. Beautiful hayride to get our Christmas tree. Meanwhile, I'm like, you're cutting the damn tree down. We're not looking for another hour. I'm tired of this. Screaming and yelling, kids crying because they're cold, you know?
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. There is something. But I like that we turn this back to business too, because
for sure.
I think that it is the same thing, right? So if we're going to do the analogy, like make sure it's not just for the photo op. That's the key. And see, that's big business, small business, any business, right? Make sure it's not just for the photo op. And the photo op could be the press release. It doesn't matter how much money you're giving, but if it's just for the photo op, it's for the wrong reasons.
That's right. That's right.
And you know, do things that you really believe in, not because you want people to think that you believe in it. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that goes back to the passion piece, right? Like have a passion, do things that you really feel. Like don't, do things that are in your heart and soul, things you believe in, get them done. And you know what? If you want to show it and prove it and talk about it, great. Honestly, if it's in your heart and soul and you want to put it out there and it's part of who you are for a charity or for giving, doing hard work, whatever it is, put it out there. It brings awareness to great causes, by the way, when you put it out there. Look for other people to help if you have a passion for it. Say, hey, come join me. Position it that way as opposed to just, hey, I'm great, right? Position it to get more help to do things because it could be used for the better when you do things like that too, for sure.
What a beautiful message for Christmas.
You know what?
Now you should go ahead and wrap that out.
The grump is gone. Wrap that.
That is a beautiful Christmas message. What a good topic we've just chosen.
I like it.
So now, follow your heart, and all of you people who are out there thinking about, all of you people, right? All of our loyal fans,
millions of viewers,
go out and find something you're passionate about and help somebody else, right? Not just because
100%.
you want to shout about it, but because you really want to help them. And if you do it for the right reasons, then you've earned the right to talk about it. Amen. And then it will come off as genuine. That's it, right?
That's right.
If it's motivated by the right things, even if you brag about it, it's going to come off as genuine because it is genuine.
That's right.
And that's it, right?
That's right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
God bless us all. All right, man. I think that's a wrap.
It's going to be a good day. I like this.
Yeah, that's a wrap. I like that one.
You made me happy today. I'm not grumpy today anymore.
Me too. See?
I feel good.
Either.
I feel good.
I get off the phone or get off the Zoom or whatever.
Yeah,
anyway,
whatever.
All right. Well, if you guys like what you heard, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section.
Please do.
Share this, subscribe, tell your friends. We'd love to increase viewership and see if people could join us in our craziness. Other than that, we want to thank you for joining us once again, and we will see you back here on another episode of
Beyond the Beef.
Talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.